Welcome back. Well, this is Corporate Radar, and our next conversation is with the largest sugar manufacturer in the country, Balrampur Chini. Lots to talk about. Vivek Saraogi is managing director at the company, and he's joining us right now to take some questions. Mr. Saraogi, good morning. Great to have you with us here, sir. Prashant this side. You know, business has been great, both on the sugar side, distillery side. You've had a good last quarter, good year as well. And prognosis is that things are looking better. I want to sort of get something slightly tangential out of the way before we get into the business aspect of things. We've seen this is a politically important year as well, and then next year we'll have the general elections in 2024. Recently, of course, the Karnataka state election outcome came through, in which we had an upset. The incumbent was out and Congress is back in power. The manifesto and what was spoken about pre-elections while campaigning, etc., was that the intention to increase state-administered prices in Karnataka. Karnataka is one of the three large important sugar-producing states in the country. What is the risk of this manifesting in other states as well, in Uttar Pradesh, which matters for you, as we head into other state elections and then into the general elections in 2024, sir?
Morning, Prashant. So this question is but obvious the moment you lose a state election. If you see the conduct of the UP government, and if you see it over years now, I think we've been 6 years with the Honorable Chief Minister, who's currently there. So there has been a very defined trajectory to cane price increase. It is tepid. It is dealing with reality, and nowhere has it shown any spike, even in the previous elections. So if we see the central government elections of last time, which 2019, in that year, the cane price was not raised. There is no evidence in history in UP of this sort. So one event of another state down south impacting cane price in UP, I would not even, sort of start to correlate it with the pragmatic CM we have, who understands grassroots reality.
Okay, so no risk of that showing up in other states as well.
I'm not saying no risk. I'm saying that's how I see it.
No, absolutely. Got that, sir. Let's get to weather then, sir. What is, again, I'm asking for your opinion. The IMD is now saying that we will see this El-Nino weather phenomenon for, most likely. The chances of that are much higher. How is this likely to play out? How is, this kind of weather phenomenon played out in earlier years for you? What is the impact on sugar prices likely to be? Your assessment. I'm sure you're watching this closely.
So if we see El-Nino, this is the first year, and El-Nino conditions do last when they come. It is not a one-year phenomenon. So that's something to be kept in mind. Two, for the current year, I don't think the IOD is saying a bad monsoon. The Indian Ocean Dipole, that is not yet signaling a monsoon which is going to be bad. However, the current weather conditions do indicate that life is not be as usual. So what's needed for sugarcane, at least I'll tell you, it's not the quantity of rainfall. Let's say 100 meters or 100 cm is the required rainfall in a year. So you get 95 cm or 105 cm, that doesn't matter. It's how well the rainfall is distributed and at what intervals. So that's one. Two, yes, one can be a little cautious thinking of this, but the current year's production, now I'll come straight to production because that's what will impact the industry. If we were at 33 million last year and UP, with the level of groundwater, I don't see much impact in UP. If at all there is some lurking danger, it might be in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Even then, I personally don't see, but too early again. Let's say production comes down to 31 or 32 million. Your export quantity gets tempered. Nothing happens to the, sort of domestic market, or the availability thereof is not curtailed. So two things. One, whatever cane is there, first, you divert for ethanol and sugar. Whatever extra production goes for export. So I do not see any danger to the ethanol program because cane is far, far ahead of that. If at all, the exports may be cut. If you see how the central government has behaved, and they put a formula in place, after keeping for a domestic stock of 6 million, as on 1st October every year, the balance will be exported. Now, one can definitely say the export next year might not come in one tranche, it may come in two tranches because there is election, and that I would agree to would be a very responsible action. So
Sure.
I don't see a daily, movement or, daily guessing the monsoon. Just wait for a bit.
Okay, Mr. Saraogi, good morning. This is Sonia here. So just to follow up, since we're talking about ethanol blending, can you give us the latest stats? Where are we in terms of the roadmap for ethanol blending for the industry as a whole? How is it shaping up so far? And for Balrampur Chini particularly, what are the numbers looking like?
Yeah, morning, Sonia. So the ethanol blending currently target is about 12%, I think, and government should be able to achieve 12%. So what the government is doing, they are now opening E20 pumps. So I believe by the end of the year, maybe the country would have over 1,000 E20 pumps. So that will increase the blending. The industry is in position to supply. Even the grain people have tendered a reasonable quantity. So this year, probably we could achieve 12, then 15, and then 20 maybe. As far as Balrampur goes, our quantity, we should be able to supply about 29-30 crores total, including what is required for the state government.
That's 29-30 crores of supplies for FY24 is what you're saying.
Sonia, I do it season-wise. I mean, we'll get back to you.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Saraogi, on the ethanol side of things, last year you supplied what, 21 crore liters? Is the number approximately that?
Maybe, Nigel, yes. So our distilleries have been commissioned.
Okay. And what is your total capacity, sir, post this expansion?
35 crores.
35 crores. So you get to 35 crores by FY25?
Next year. Again, I'm talking season. So I'll tell you why. Because our crushing this year is about 10 crore 30 lakhs, which is a 15% increase. Our recovery is also up by a bit. Next year, we are hoping to crush another at least 10% more. So if we get to about 1130, and conditions right now do indicate that the figure I'm telling you should be possible, then the ethanol level, because of the availability of molasses and juice, will be much higher. Therefore, we should easily be able to get to, closer to 35 with grain, but on the season.
So what's happened also as an outcome of this perhaps is that your borrowings have gone up because of obviously the expansion that you're doing in the distillery segment. So I get that. But how much are you comfortable with in terms of, pressure on the balance sheet, perhaps higher borrowings, higher debt? What's the level that you're comfortable going up to?
We are at very comfortable levels. In a year from now, hopefully, you'll again see us back to our traditional levels.
Okay, which is what?
Whatever we've undertaken is cash accretive on day one.
Okay.
So we continue. Yeah. Sorry if I make this complete.
Please.
Continue to maintain our dividend protocol as well as buyback. So it's rewarding the shareholders in an age-old fashion, traditional fashion, which Balrampur has been following for 5-7 years, very credibly and it's very defined. And the debt does not trouble. So the company has cash to meet all obligations, and if at all, go for new business if there is ample opportunity.
Mr. Saraogi, you started when we began on the weather topic. You began by saying that when this El-Nino phenomenon occurs, it lasts. It's not just 1 year. I mean, it stays. Conditions stay. So in what way should we be cognizant of this? Because this is not just this sugar season then. You're saying that it should not impact that much, maybe export quota. But if this, as you're saying, if this lasts a few years, what's your thinking?
So that's a very good question, Prashant. So if at all now, the trajectory and the underlying, if I may say, the underlying theme moves from maybe neutral to positive. So sugar prices definitely will take a firmer tone as we move ahead. Because the fear of surplus is now receding definitely. And if India was supplying about 10 million, 6 million to the global markets, and India gets down to 3-4 million, the global markets will also remain very firm. Thailand is also having it. So El-Nino is a phenomenon which is all prevalent. It's not just India. So if these risky weather patterns do emerge, the tenor becomes a little more bullish overall, long term.
Got it.
Okay, Mr. Saraogi, thanks so much, sir, for stopping by. Always good hearing your thoughts. Thanks so much for stopping by and wishing you a good day and looking forward to having a chat with you in the near future.
Same to you.
Well,
Thank you.
Well,